Well, today is March 22nd, 2023. Here I am in magnificent Grand Central Terminal. Gonna do what I did last week. Ride the Ronkonkoma Rocket to Ronkonkoma, train 2068. Parts at 5:41. Hopefully it's on track 202. Got 10 M7s tonight. Seems like it always has M7s, but it's a cloudier day somewhat, so hopefully I'll have better lighting conditions on the way out. How can you not love this place? And how can you not love the fact that the Long Island Railroad serves here? I am still ecstatic over it. I am a huge proponent of Grand Central Terminal for the Long Island Railroad, and I hope it does well. I think in time it will do well. So to a sort of a slow start, but I've been running into a lot of crowds walking in through here from the Long Island Concourse, and hopefully it'll do well in time. People get used to it and stop falling in love with Penn Station, and hopefully it'll be like Easy Pass. People hated Easy Pass when it first came out, but now people can't survive without it. This has got to go for more than one reason. I know this doorway I think is unnecessary, and I certainly don't like what's written on the doorway. Well, there it is, folks, the 5:39 train. Actually leaves at 5:39 from here. 5:41 was the old Rocket schedule out of Penn Station for the longest time. But this train closely replicates that train, although it does run out of Grand Central instead of Penn Station. But since the schedule changed in February 27th, a whole fleet of Rocket trains were created. From what I see, about 7 of them going east. Out of Grand Central, you have 2062, 2066, and this train, 2068. Out of Penn Station, you have 1962, 1964, 1966, and train 1970. They have the fastest schedules to Ronkonkoma and make the fewest number of stops. But this 5:39 train from Grand Central makes the absolute fewest out of all of those trains. Okay, here comes our equipment arriving in on track 202. I got 5:32. It's a little later than last week. Central Terminal at 5:42, 3 minutes late. On board M7 7230. Jamaica, Brentwood, Central Islip, and Ronkonkoma. This is the limited for MU trains on the railroad.
This is the train to Ronkonkoma. The next station is Jamaica.
GCT 6 interlocking. Now we're going to dive under the 63rd Street Tunnel. About this particular train is west of Jamaica. It tends to get backed up a little behind other trains, but east of Jamaica this train is pretty much given the railroad. Runs down the new center track on the triple track, track number 1. Interlocking. After here we'll curve to the left and come out of the tunnel. That track in the middle you see goes to Midday Yard. Interlocking, and you'll notice that it's a bit on the cloudy side, which is good. Minimize the glare. Hopefully I'll get a much better view out this window. The far track before those passing M7s has no third rail. That's the Amtrak line going east towards Boston. Yeah, this is quite a train, 2068. Makes the absolute minimum number of stops between Manhattan and Ronkonkoma. Back during the pandemic, the Rocket was demoted to a local. That was train 2070. It's nice to see this train back in some form as of the schedule change February 27th. We're proceeding down track 2 of the main line. Remember during the pandemic, 2070 was a local pretty much east of Hicksville, the old Rocket. The only real fast train that ran out to Ronkonkom was 2066. That went from Penn Station and made Wyandanch the first stop. Passing through Woodside. See the signals for wood interlocking. Queens Boulevard. 2 far tracks of the Port Washington branch. They're going to diverge up ahead here shortly. There it goes. And we're about to pass under the old New Haven Railroad Bay Ridge line. No trash containers parked here today. Tell you, the Ronkonkoma Service on the Long Island Railroad, the electrics, is the most impressive of all the electric lines. It goes the furthest out of Manhattan, about 50 miles to Ronkonkoma. Very fast. Good spacing between the stations. 80-mile-an-hour track speed. It's nothing like the other electric lines. The Babylon branch, or the Babylon Service of the Montauk branch, the electrics, it's like a rapid transit system. They're all elevated stations. They make good speed though, but by the time they get the track speed, they got to slow down for the next stop. I mentioned about all these Ronkonkoma Rockets that were created. Babylon line is fastest trains they have now make Jamaica, Wantagh the first stop. Used to be trains with Seaford the first stop, even a couple with Amityville the first stop. Those are gone. The Huntington of the Port Jefferson branch electric service, that's even worse. That's pretty much local trains. And they've even added stops on the main line like Floral Park, UBS Arena, some stop at Queens Village and Hollis. There really aren't any fast trains to Huntington. The only really good ones from Penn Station to Huntington are trains 660 and 664. The dual mode trains, they make Jamaica, Hicksville, Huntington. All the other trains pretty much are locals. Ah, there's some M3s. I know the people on the Huntington line are not happy. There used to be a train 1726 that run non-stop from New York to Syosset. There's nothing like that anymore for electrics. What's he honking at? This is Forest Hills.
Gina, I know that, but in her mind it's not over. She will never forget this. Good.
Getting back to the electric services, the Port Washington branch, I think they got a number of trains that go express to Bayside, Great Neck, but they had to scream hard for that.
That's not true. Janine texted me for my birthday and said she'll be down at East.
Passing under the Jackie Robinson Parkway here.
Lily's lying. So don't worry about it. Just do what you want to do. I don't know what we're doing yet with Ricky's family. I mean, you're more than welcome.
Okay, Kew Gardens. We're approaching J Interlocking.
Oh, I know. I know what you mean, Gina.
Sounds like they're taking the handicap ramp out. They did it last week too. Must be a regular customer on this train. There's the pedestal for J. Yeah, the M3 we saw go west. There've been a few of them put in service lately. There's almost always one on the Atlantic Terminal shuttle. There was one that went east on 866 to Long Beach this afternoon.
Oh, that's how she is.
One went east the other night on one of those Ronkonkoma Expresses out of Penn Station. Oh, I'd love to get a ride on one of those at the head end.
She won't see it. She thinks we're taking the line. There's no convincing her.
Well, that equipment is headed to Long Island City.
She posted on Facebook. It's so ridiculous, Gina. I'm telling you. Oh, she doesn't want Carmelina to go around. Carmelina will put her in her place. Not at all.
Yeah, we seem to be doing an average day so far. I've been monitoring this train for several nights, and he usually moves pretty quick east of Jamaica. And he's almost always early in Brentwood. threading through J and unlocking the west throat of Jamaica. You can see train 45 in the station arriving from Spelunk.
Arriving in Jamaica, the Jamaica is an express train to Ronkonkoma, stopping at Brentwood Central exit Ronkonkoma only. This train only makes 3 stops. In Jamaica, the first stop is Brentwood, followed by Central exit, then Ronkonkoma. Change here in Jamaica, the air train to Kennedy Airport, all the destinations. Changing trains, opening front of the wall, you want to get the train. Again, this is an express train to Ronkonkoma, making stop at Brentwood Central exit Ronkonkoma only.
Well, I don't think we're coming on track 3 tonight. This diesel equipment is on 3, 45. Track 4.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's right on
And a crowd waiting to board.
This station is Jamaica. This is the train to Ronkonkoma.
Kennedy next, Brentwood next, express train to Ronkonkoma.
So, I know, that's what I said. I said to you.
Okay, departing at 6:06. We're 5 minutes late. And we should get the railroad.
Or that. Exactly. I said you'll be inconvenienced for a while, that's it. I know. So, well, she was going to Starbucks with her friends and then they were going back. I think they were travel rehearsal or something. The car ran a red light. They had people at the scene that were witnesses, so that was good. Yeah.
This is the train to Ronkonkoma. The next station is Brentwood. As you leave the train, please step over the gap between the train and the platform.
What do you mean? I said there's a Starbucks in the shopping center in Bohemia, Mercedes, and Farms. She didn't know. She didn't have to go all the way up to the, because it's down by the, down by the airport. So he's like, I don't know. So he knows that I'm on the train, so he said he was gonna let me know to stop home. So I don't know. I'm coming to you.
Over there is Jamaica Avenue, the road paralleling behind this building. Used to be the site of the Jamaica Avenue L. The old QJ subway to 168th Street. We Here's the remnants of the old Union Hall Street station.
I don't know, the sweatshirt got ruined or something. I don't know if she needs a shirt. I don't know. Something like that. No, they all went to the hospital.
All right, here we go.
I'll let you know, Jake. No worries.
Here's the old Jamaica Armory. 104th Field Artillery. Right now we're on main line track number 1.
When I hang up with you, this is Gabby. Let me see what's going on. Okay. Hey. Okay, baby. How's it going?
That's the site of the old Hillside station. Hillside Support Facility Station for employees. Station. This is the former site of the old Bel Air station. Queens Village. Queens interlocking. There's the old Queens Tower. UBS Arena. It's the east end of Queens interlocking. Passing by the site of Belrose Station. Platform is on the right of the train. Floral Park Station. Sees enhanced service now. Huntington train stop here. This is the beginning of the Hempstead branch. East of the station is Park Interlocking. And here we enter the triple track main. You'll see a remnant of the old Creedmoor Hospital secondary track up here. Flying down track 1. It's the former site of Covert Avenue grade crossing. Former 12th Street grade crossing, New Hyde Park Station. Former New Hyde Park Road grade crossing. Avenue Station. There's a Nassau 1 interlocking. Passing over Herrick's Road. That crossing was eliminated decades ago after a disastrous collision at a grade crossing there. Approaching Mineola, you'll get a chance to see their refurbished depot building. Mineola Station. Looks good, but it's kind of sterile looking. This is Nassau 2, the beginning of the Oyster Bay branch.
No seatbelt.
Former Main Street crossing was there. This is the former Willis Avenue crossing. That used to be a crossing many years ago, Roslyn Road. Nassau 3 interlocking. Over the Meadowbrook Parkway. Westbury.
So, they're waiting for Faith to get their CAT scan done. So,
He's really rolling. Oh, that was Carl Place. Excuse me. Yeah, this is Westbury, going over Post Avenue, Westbury Station. Just passed over the old School Street crossing. It's the old Urban Avenue crossing. Entering Divide Interlocking. Passed under the Wantar Parkway. There are a whole series of divide interlockings between this and the Port Jeff branch. I think there's 6 in all. Entering Divide 2 interlocking. Cars and concrete ties. Hicksville station. We're still going down on track 1. East of here we'll be heading to the right, continuing on the main line. We should be switching over to track number 2. This station was elevated back in the mid-60s. Is stopping just ever so briefly. The original rocket used to stop at Hicksville. This one does not. We'll curve off to the right past the old Divide Tower. You'll get a good look at it. You'll also see the beginning of the Port Jefferson branch here. Curving off to the left. Is right there. There's the old tower here. I remember when this was all at ground level with manually operated railroad crossing gates. Easterly limits of Divide, we should be switching over to track 2, and then he should be cranking it up. Here we go. Old Country Road. South Road crossing. South Oyster Bay Road. You get to hear that beautiful S2M horn that these cars have. expressway we just passed over. This is Beth Interlocking here where the Central Branch starts. That's the Bethpage Parkway down below. And here we round a left-hand curve. It's really the only speed restriction between here and Ronkonkoma. The outskirts of Ronkonkoma. Approaching Farmingdale, we have 4 crossings: Clinton Street, Main Street, Elizabeth Street, and Secatog Avenue. Laying it on Farmingdale Station. Interlocking is farm. Route 110 is the former site of Republic Station, served Republic Aviation. This is PW Interlocking. Crossing is New Highway. That building back there is One World Distribution. New York and Atlantic serves that. They deal with scrap metal. This is Lawn Interlocking. Crossing is Pine Lawn Road or Wellwood Avenue. That's Pine Lawn Station. Passing the edge of the National Cemetery. A lot of cemeteries in this area. East Neck Road. Interlocking here is Danch, D-A-N-C-H. 18th Street. Straight path. Wyandanch Station. Much better evening to do this. It's cloudy, less glare on the windows. But unfortunately, these M7 windows are not the cleanest. But it's better than what I had to deal with last week. I like to do this run with M9s, but this train never seems to get them. Down below is New York Route 231. I'm going to see the old Deer Park station here, now a maintenance away building. There it is there. Path. Road. Interlocking here is the initials JS. Initials of a former Long Island Railroad executive. Deer Park Station, which is not in Deer Park. It's in actually a community called Baywood. There's the Heartland Miniature Golf and Batting Range. Interlocking here is Pilgrim. New York and Atlantic uses that to access their yard. See a track going off that leads down to the old Pilgrim State Hospital. Passing under the Sac to Coast Parkway, often called the Sagatos. This is Pioneer Yard. See a bunch of engines here. Used to be a station here called Pioneer. kind of taking it easy through here. I think we're catching up to a local 1060. That interlocking there was Pioneer. Wicks Road. Well, he was definitely going faster than we are at this moment. Second Street.
This station
4th Street. Brentwood Road. And arriving at our first stop after Jamaica, Brentwood. And we arrive at 641. Yeah, we had a good run. Got here 4 minutes early.
This is the train to Ronkonkoma. The next station is Central Iceland.
This line is a favorite. It's fast, superbly engineered. Islip Avenue. CI interlocking. North Peters Boulevard. It's where the old Central Islip station used to be. That's Carlton Avenue. Right around here, there used to be a spur that headed off to Central Islip Hospital. used by Sunday diesel trains.
This station is Central Iceland.
Central Iceland. Central Iceland, that's Lowell Avenue. 4 minutes early.
This is the train to Ronkonkoma. The next station is Ronkonkoma.
Parallel road is Suffolk Avenue. Just under Veterans Memorial Highway. Passing through the Connecticut Preserve. I remember when this Ronkonkoma electrification started, they had a train that made the run in 59 minutes from Ronkonkoma to Penn. But it had trouble making the schedule. Well, back then they had to deal with single tracking east of Farmingdale, and you didn't have the triple track from Hicksville to Jamaica. But today, if they wanted to do a non-stop in 59 minutes with this extra trackage they've got, they can do it. They can do it. There was nothing in front of him. I'm sure he could do it. That was Ocean Avenue. Interlocking is Ocean. That was Pond Road. Track over there is where the Greenport Scoot ties up. Approaching Ronkonkoma, site of the largest MU yard out on the island. Mid-Suffolk Yard. This is Pond interlocking. Overhead bridge is Ronkonkoma Avenue. And right around this side of the parking lot used to be the old Ronkonkoma station when it was not electrified. Quite a bit of development here. They're building some residences over there.
Between the train and the platform.
Arriving Ronkonkoma, track 2. Ooh, this was a superbly fast trip. We're due in here, its scheduled time is 6:57. There's a train for Grand Central loading over there. Ronkonkoma, it is 6:51, 1 hour and 10 minutes from Grand Central. Worthy of the old Ronkonkoma Rocket. Great ride. Great ride. Ronkonkoma Station doesn't just serve a town. Ronkonkoma serves a region. A lot of people from the town of Islip and nearby town of Brookhaven